Hello, it's me, Michael Tic Tac, and today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to beat all of Pokémon Scarlet using nothing but quite possibly one of the most feared things on the planet, spiders. These creepy crawlies always get a bad rap, so I wanted to show them some love and prove that they can in fact be good, well, in the right hands at least. Now, of course, as per usual, hardcore Nuzlocke rules will apply as shown on the screen, and I may as well ban terrestrializing while I'm at it too. With that all out of the way, let's begin. The game starts off like every other, where we put on our dorky school uniform and a bucket hat. You know what? Let's change that real quick. Much better. We then head outside where Director Clavel can give us our starter options, and I'm sure we can all see the problem here, right? Not a spider in sight. Anyway, as I'm all about the challenge, I get my hands on the Quaxley, as this means our rival Nemona will get the Fuecoco, who with its fire typing will be a menace for our spiders. Then we visit Mum one last time to say goodbye, as she has a little surprise for us. Oh, but before you go, I got you a little something to celebrate your big day. Take it with you if you're going out on your own. Oh, it's a Rotom phone. Well, that's kinda disappointing. I mean, it's alright, but it's nothing compared to Red Magic's latest phone, the 9S. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, this video is sponsored by the latest Red Magic 9S Pro phone. And let's just say, this thing is incredible. Out of the box, we find ourselves a clear case protector, which is nice to have. And then we have the phone charger, which comes with a cord and a power brick. Now, in regards to the specs, you can get this with either 256 or 512 gigabytes of storage. There's also a 12 gigabyte or 16 gigabyte option for RAM as well. But most importantly, it comes with the latest Snapdragon 8 chipset, which is actually an upgrade from the last phone, as the CPU and GPU can be overclocked. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that games you would play on your PC will run amazingly on the Red Magic 9S Pro. And with a 6.8-inch Full HD AMOLED screen, the games will look as beautiful as ever. Now, some other things that I actually care about is the 120Hz refresh rate option. Then there's a massive 6500 mAh battery with fast charging capabilities, and it even has a headphone jack, which I kind of wish was on more phones. Right, let's get to the best part. By sliding this red button here, we can enter gaming mode. And let's just say, there won't be a game out there that doesn't run perfectly on this phone. Seriously, no matter what's happening on screen, the frame rates don't drop. Also, by double swiping, you get access to a bunch of custom settings, so if you do want to optimize for performance or extend your battery life while playing, it's simple to do. Plus, there's a whole bunch of other settings you can play with. If you love gaming on your phone, then I cannot highly recommend this enough. To find out more, click on the link in the description or the pinned comment below and start your journey using the ultimate gaming phone. Thank you, Red Magic, for supporting the channel, and now let's get back to the video. Although we do have a Quaxley in our ranks, we can't use the bird, but luckily for us, there is a spider not far away, Tarantula. The ball of yarn is caught, and she gets the name Charlotte. Then right at the level cap of 15, our little spider can evolve into a pretty powerful Spiderops, conveniently right before the first Nemona battle. Charlotte hits the baby crocodile hard with an insurance, while eating an ember with ease. A second insurance finishes off the Fuecoco, and in comes Pawmi. Pawmi can terrestrialize, but a single bug bite from Charlotte is all it takes to eliminate the rodent. Okay, we're at the most tedious part of the game, so let's just fast forward through everything. We enter Messagoza, we meet Team Star, we beat Team Star, we have Director Clavel give us his big treasure hunt speech, and now finally, we are free to do what we want to. The first thing I want to do is take on the gym leader Katie and her bugs. But before I do that, there are a couple of things we need. First, we head this way and grab ourselves a TM for Rock Tomb. Then, just outside Contondo City, we head to the field here, which gives us an Adamant Mint, which is perfect for Charlotte. Okay, let's go and exterminate some bugs. Nimble starts a fight, doing pathetic damage with a struggle bug before Charlotte drops some rocks on it, taking it out. Now it's Tarantula, which is a little more resilient, surviving the Rock Tomb, although it barely puts a scratch on us with a bug bite. This means a second Rock Tomb can take it out and force Katie to bring in her Turdiosa. Charlotte Rock Tombs a bear, deleting half its health before taking a Fury Cutter with ease. A second Rock Tomb can then land, securing the kill and getting the win. Should have had more spiders in your team, Katie. The Stony Cliff Titan Clawf is not too far away, and oh, can you just leave me alone? Ahem. As I was saying, he ain't too far away, but there is one thing I want to get before I take on the giant crab. So we jump on Koraidon, and then we go on a bit of an adventure until we finally reach our destination where we can get our hands on the TM for Brick Break, only to learn that Low Kick is actually the superior move due to how heavy Clawf is, so yeah, that was actually a waste of time. We now turn our attention to the crab, and the fight begins. Charlotte starts things off with a Silk Trap, protecting ourselves and dropping Clawf's speed. Our Spider then goes for a Low Kick, doing respectable damage, while the crab decides to use Block, which is completely fine. 2 more Low Kicks from Charlotte can land, giving us the win in the first phase. Phase 2 is not too much different, although this time Arven's shoulder can chip in with water guns, while Charlotte goes for Low Kicks, defeating the oversized crustacean. Hey ladies and gentlemen, just quickly, if you are enjoying the video and you want to show some love to the channel, I would really appreciate it if you could drop a like and click that subscribe button below. Thank you. Keeping the momentum going, we go straight to Artisan City and take on the gym leader Brassius and his plants. Well, actually, they do make us collect and return some sunflowers first. Charlotte is once again the star, and a super effective bug bite sends the petty little packing. Now it's Smoliv, but it also stands no chance falling to a single bug bite from Charlotte. Last says he's a Sudowoodo, so we stick to the plan, going for a bug bite, which does do less than half health, while a rock throw from the fake tree deals similar damage back. A second bug bite brings it to the brink of death, and Brassius actually goes for a Trial Blaze, which does minimal damage, but it does raise its speed, which is a problem. Well, it would have been if I didn't have Silk Trap, protecting me and dropping the Sudowoodo's speed back down. One last bug bite can then land and put an end to Sudowoodo, giving us a victory over Brassius. Right, so you're probably wondering if this is just going to be a Spider Up solo run by now. But I do in fact have a box with 4 other Spider Pokemon. We have Shelob the Joltik, Black Widow the Spinarak, Argog the Jupiter, and last, Peter the... Actually, I'll keep this one a secret for now. Anyway, with Bombardier being our next target, it makes sense to add Shelob to the team. And to make her even more powerful, I pick up one of the best TMs in the game, Thunderbolt. Also, while we're at it, we continue our little adventure and pick up the leftovers in Medali City. And that's about all I can do to prepare, so let's go take on the giant bird. Shelob takes a lead, and a wing attack brings our itsy bitty spider all the way down to 16 HP, while we respond with an electro web, doing a decent chunk of damage, but also slowing down the Bombardier. Now that we do outspeed, a Thunderbolt can obliterate it in the first phase, forcing it to retreat. We start round 2, and I decide to go for a Protect, which is a waste, as Bombardier targets the Nacli with a Pluck. Now, I want to get Shelob out of there and bring in Charlotte, who thankfully takes no damage, as the Bombardier uses a Torment on the Nacli. Nacli goes for a Smackdown, which does good damage, but the bird hits back with a Rock Throw, bringing it low. Charlotte then gets involved with a Rock Tomb, bringing it below half its health while slowing it down. And then Nacli just wants to throw the fight, going for another Rock Polish when it's already faster than the Bombardier. The Bombardier then hits it back hard with a wing attack. Charlotte then gets off a massive critical hit Rock Tomb, leaving the bird on the slither, which allows Nacli to go for one last Rock Throw, getting us the win over the Titan. Alright, things are looking good for our spiders so far, but they will step up a notch as we have Team Star to deal with now. Although it is Giacomo and his dark type Pokemon, which actually is a pretty good type matchup for our spiders. Also for the Team Star fights, we actually need 3 Pokemon in our party, so Black Widow joins the team. Giacomo comes out of his car, ready to fight, and I start things off with our MVP of the run so far, Charlotte. Charlotte goes for a Silk Trap on the Pornard, protecting ourselves while dropping its speed. This now means we can outspeed and land a quad-effective Brick Break, crushing the Pornard. Riverim now comes in, and in the end I go for a Silk Trap, but the car uses a Metal Sound, dropping our special defense. We do stay in, and the car goes for a second Metal Sound, which is kinda scary as a Bug Bite does okay damage back. Charlotte then stays in one more turn, going for a Silk Trap, which does work, dropping the car's speed. I hard switch in Shelob, who takes a Snarl as she comes in, and then takes a Metal Sound, dropping a special defense, before going for a Struggle Bug, dealing small damage. But it also drops the car's special attack, which is useful. The Starmobile this time goes for a Wicked Talk, which we take well, as a second Struggle Bug deals more damage while weakening his special attack further. Black Widow makes her first appearance, and well, a Wicked Talk brings her below half, so yeah, I'm not going to keep her in. Charlotte makes a return, taking a Wicked Talk as she comes in. Riverim then uses a Metal Sound, which is okay for now, while a Bug Bite brings the card below half its health. This time we use a Silk Trap, which works, slowing the card down, but we're still outsped, taking a wicked talk before another bug bite leaves a car in the red. The Starmobile takes one more hit at us, but we survive and we can bug bite it to its grave, getting the win. After that battle, the level cap has gone up, which means our tiny spider Black Widow can now evolve into a bigger spider. And the timing couldn't be any more perfect, as now we can show off her power against Nimona. Rockruff leads, going for a howl, raising his attack, while we go bigger with a swords dance, raising our attack even more. The dog goes for another howl, which is getting dangerous, but we remain calm, going for another swords dance, making us even stronger. Black Widow then hits Rockruff with a Shadow Sneak, but the puppy does survive and then uses a double team. Thankfully, a second Shadow Sneak can land and we get the first kill. Pawmi is next in and it ends up going for a dig, which is fine as we can just swords dance one more time. Then we protect to not take any damage from the dig before Shadow Sneaking it to the afterlife. Last is a baby crocodile who rather comfortably survives a Shadow Sneak, then hits us hard with a Terrestrialize Incinerate, but we somehow survive and we eliminate it on the next turn. So our next task is to take on the local streamer Iono and her electric Pokemon, and we will. I just gotta do some things quickly. First, we get a very useful TM Leech Life, which is perfect for Black Widow, and then at the Delibird store here, we can get ourselves a Covert Cloak, which will stop us from getting paralyzed. Okay, we're ready, let's get Iono. Charlotte is in charge, going for a Silk Trap, protecting ourselves and slowing down the Wattrel. Now we outspeed, and a Rock Tomb can land, crushing the bird. Belly Bolt bounces in, so we go for a Leech Life, which does good damage, but of course, the incoming Spark hits us and paralyzes us. Belly Bolt then goes for another Spark, which hurts, but a Leech Life can deal damage and heal back some of our HP as well as leftovers. Another Spark comes and hits us while we get fully paralyzed. One more Spark comes our way, and this time I change the plan, going for a Rock Tomb, which strategically leaves it on the brink of death. Black Widow can now come in, taking a Spark, which actually hurts more than I thought, but it's okay as we go for a Fell Stinger on the next turn, taking out the Belly Bolt, but more importantly, drastically raising my attack stat. Luxio was next in, dropping our attack by one stage with Intimidate, and then it hits us with a Spark, which we do take well. Wanting to get faster, we use a Trial Blaze, doing just over half damage, and then we go for one more, taking out the Luxio, doubling our speed. Iono has no choice, bringing in her ace Miss Magius, which stands no chance as a big Leech Life from Black Widow can suck the life out of the Electric Ghost, giving us the win. Right. So our next opponent is not exactly great for our spiders, and that's because we have Mela from Team Star who specializes in fire-type Pokemon coming up. But then I remembered something. I have Argog who conveniently evolves into an Araquanid right before the level cap, and with its ability Water Bubble, we take less damage from fire-type moves. But we ain't done yet. Just outside the base is the TM for Rain Dance, and then we can head to this little boat over here, which has the TM for Surf, which is perfect. With Argog fully prepared, we enter the fire base, and we waste no time taking on Mela. We start off going for a Rain Dance, removing the sun, and then watch as a turtle tickles us with a Flame Wheel. Showing no mercy, we go for a Surf, drowning the Torkoal to its demise. Mela brings in her car, which is fine, as a Swift is just as pathetic, while a Surf can do just over half its health of damage. The car then goes for a Screech, which, okay then? And then it takes a second Surf from our Spider, getting absolutely destroyed. Now that we've dealt with Mela, our attention goes straight back to Titan hunting, with a lurking still Titan being the one we're after. The Metal Worm is tracked down with ease, and Charlotte is ready to have some fun. Our priority is to slow down the slug, so we go for a Silk Trap, which works, dropping its speed. Unfortunately, we're still outsped on the next turn, and an Iron Tail hurts a lot, but we use a low kick, which deletes about half the worm's health, which is nice. We Silk Trap again, making it even slower, allowing us to go first on the next turn, and another low kick can give us the win in round 1. In the second phase, Orthworm starts things off with a Sandstream, while low kicks still do big damage to the Titan, and well, Arven's Toadscruel misses his Supersonic. It's fine, however, as 2 more low kicks from Charlotte is all it takes to crush the Titan and secure the victory. The tropical city of Cascarafa is our next destination, and I'm guessing that Kofi isn't a fan of spiders, as when we arrive, the guy makes a run for it. But we need that gym badge, so we chase him down, beat up his bodyguard, spend his money on some seaweed, before finally he cracks and he agrees to battle our spiders. Shelob takes charge, getting hit hard with an Aqua Cutter from Veluza before thunderbolting the fish. Thankfully, we do paralyze it, meaning we now outspeed and can finish off Kofu's first Pokemon with a second Thunderbolt. Trio is next in, and the first thing we do is go for a Protect to get some extra leftovers recovery. Then we get hit hard with a Headbutt, but we do survive, and Thunderbolt the, You know what? I don't even know what this thing is, but it's dead. Last is the Crabominable, and Shellup has done enough, so I switch in Argog, who can take a slam pretty well. From here we trade blows, taking slams which do hurt, while Leech Lives deal okay damage while healing us up. Kofu misses a couple of his slams, which means Argog can come out victorious, finishing off the Crabominable. With the Water Gym badge in our possession, our spiders prepare themselves to take on Atticus and his poisonous Pokemon. Black Widow takes the spotlight, not getting hit by sucker punches as we go for Swords Dances, raising our attack. Even after 3, we keep going for them until we know it has no more PP left for Sucker Punch. Finally it runs out, going for a Venoshock, doing minimal damage, while a Tri-Blaze also doesn't do too much, but it does raise our speed. We take another Venoshock to the face, while a second Tri-Blaze brings a Skunk into the red while making us faster. We now outspeed, and we go for one more Tri-Blaze, getting the KO and making us super fast. The mini Reverum comes in, and a +6 Leech Life does actually less than I thought, while an Ironhead does bring us below half our health. We go for another Leech Life, bringing the car into the orange, while an Ironhead leaves us on just 13 HP. Our third Leech Life does get the kill, and our biggest threat has been dealt with. Muck is in, but 2 more Leech Lives from Black Widow can take him out while keeping us healthy. Finally, it's the Starmobile, and Spinouts and Flame Charges don't hurt too much, while Leech Lives deal good damage and heals us up, allowing us to outlast the car and defeat Atticus once and for all. With a level cap now at 36, our last itsy bitsy spider Shellup can become a big spider Galvantula. With my team of fully grown spiders, we make our way to the next gym. Well, it's actually a restaurant, and we take on the leader Larry. Once again, it's Black Widow who leads, and it's yawned by Kamala, but our ability Insomnia prevents us from sleeping, allowing us a Swords Dance for free. This time the Koala goes for a slam, which actually hurts a lot, while our spider uses Trailblaze, dealing damage, but making himself faster. Now that we outspeed, we use Fell Stinger, taking out the Kamala and drastically raising our attack even further. The Dunsparce comes in next, but a Leech Life from Black Widow is more than enough to one-shot the fat snake. Finally, it's Staraptor who intimidates us, which is fine. Then it hits us with an unbelievably hard aerial ace, which we just survived before eliminating the bird with a big Leech Life. After another successful battle, Gita herself wants to congratulate me in person. Although, this doesn't go down too well with Nimona. But hey, I found Tic Tac first. You may be La Primera, but you can't go stealing him from me. Haha, I suppose I'll have to get in line. Right, so after that little spat, we have a pretty straightforward battle with Nimona coming up. Or so I thought. Black Widow is automatically in the front, and an Accelerock from her wolf slashes almost half our health, while a Trailblaze does just under while making us faster. Thinking I could survive another Accelerock, we stay in, and, well, yeah, Black Widow is dead. Not good. I bring in Charlotte, who's hit with an Accelerock before dropping down a Sticky Web, slowing down the rest of Nimona's Pokemon. Another Accelerock brings us down to 19 HP, but we respond with a Leech Life, taking it out and healing back some of their health. Now it's Goomy, who is slowed down thanks to the Sticky Web, but it can just survive a Leech Life before hitting us back with a Dragon Pulse. Then a second Leech Life can land, getting the kill. Pawmo is next, and the little guy paralyzes us with a Thunder Wave, but thankfully, we can get off the Leech Life. We Silk Trap it on the next turn to slow it down further, before it hits us with a Spark, while we Leech Life it again. Another Spark comes our way, but we're fully paralyzed, and then another one, while we're fully paralyzed again. Finally, after another Spark from the Rodent, we can respond with a Leech Life, taking it out. Now comes in the biggest problem, Skeledirge. We have no choice but to stay in, and we fall to a Torque Song, which also makes a Crocodile even stronger. Argon is now in, and at this point, I threw the rules out the window and I terrestrialized my spider into a pure water type, eating the Torque Song with ease, and then drowning the Crocodile with a Surf, which is kind of ironic because crocodiles can breathe underwater. Okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That was brutal, and we lost half our team to that fight. At this point, I was unsure if I should have just reset the run or keep going. But then I remembered I still have one secret weapon in my ranks, and if I could just survive the next 2 battles against Rhyme and the Great Tusk, we may still have hope. So the first order of business is to head all the way to the snowy region of Paldea and then to Montenovera City, where we can take on Rhyme and her ghosts. I lead with Argog and Shelob, well, because that's all I have. And Bennett starts things off by sucker punching Argog, while Shelob gets revenge by thunderbolting it back. Mimikyu then slashes Argog before our spider goes for a crunch, taking out the Bennett. The crowd then starts cheering for us for using a super effective move, raising our attack stats. Shelob then targets the Mimikyu with a Thunderbolt, breaking the disguise, before the creepy ghost sets up a light screen. Houndstone then uses Phantom Force, disappearing, meaning it can dodge the incoming crunch that I had planned for it. Shelob then goes for another Thunderbolt on the Mimikyu, dealing damage this time, while it retaliates with a slash on Argog. Houndstone then hits Shelob with a Phantom Force, bringing both our spiders low, although a Leech Life on the Houndstone does okay damage back. The crowd once again cheers us on, this time raising our speed. Not taking any risks, I terrestrialize Argog, and then we have Shelob go for a protect while surfing Mimikyu to its death. The terrestrialization then makes the crowd go wild, raising all our stats by one stage. Rhyme now brings in her Ace Toxtricity, but a Thunderbolt from Shelob, followed by a crunch from Argog, sends a lizard straight to the afterlife. Houndstone then hits Shelob with a Phantom Force, but we survive, and Thunderbolt the dog straight back to Rhyme. After spending some time in the snow, our spiders want to defrost, so what better place to do that than a desert? Not too far in, we do run into the Quaking Earth Titan, the Great Tusk, so we take him on. Argog is in charge and takes a brick break with ease before obliterating the elephant with a single surf, forcing it to run away. We don't let it escape, however, as we find the big fella eating some herbs. The outcome doesn't change at all though, and after a few more surfs from our spider, the big elephant shrinks into nothing, and we've successfully defeated the Titan. Our Fornado is our next destination, and we have a rematch with Nemona coming up. But before we take her on, it is time to reveal our final Pokemon, Peter the Beldum. We evolved Peter, but he's still not usable as a Metang. But at level 45, right on the level cap, Peter can evolve one more time, becoming an insane Metagross, which is close enough to a spider for me. Now Peter does actually have a bad nature, so we head to the Chansey store and purchase an Adamant Mint to fix that up. Then we go back to the desert and beat up a bunch of trainers, which will then allow us to get the TM Earthquake from this lovely gentleman over here. Okay Nemona, I'm ready for you now. Peter makes his first appearance, and straight away he gets hit hard with a crunch, while we also deal big damage with a Trial Blaze, raising our speed. We now outspeed, and a second Trial Blaze can get the KO. Pawmon is next in, but one Earthquake can deal with the Electric Hamster with ease. Now it's Sligo, so this time I go for a Hone Claws, raising my attack while taking a Dragon Pulse from the Slimy Dragon. As we take the hits well, I go for a second Hone Claws before taking another Dragon Pulse comfortably. Happy with our power up, we can now deliver an Earthquake to the Sligo, crushing it to its death. The Nemona's last Pokemon is the Skeledirge that caused havoc in the last fight, but one Earthquake from Peter can send it packing. Now that she's beaten, Tulip is our next target, so we take her on. Farigiraf starts things off with a Reflect, which is okay, while Argon uses Aqua Ring, which when paired with Leftovers and Leech Life will make us unkillable. So after going back and forth with Farigiraf, we come out on top and we've dealt with her first Pokemon. Gardevoir's Psychic does crit, which is not ideal, but by Leech Lifing the Fairy, followed up by Protect, we're almost at full HP again. 2 more Leech Lives later, and down goes her second Pokemon. The plan doesn't change when the Spartha comes in, although it only takes 2 Leech Lives to eliminate the Emu. Last is a Florges, and once again, it only takes 2 more hits from our Spider to take out the Terrestrialized Flower, and yet get another win and another gym badge. There is now only Grusha and his ice Pokemon left for us to defeat, but before we take him on, I want a TM for Peter. So we head to the building here at Laventia City, and we can find the TM for Ironhead. Oh, that's Psychic Fangs. It's actually still pretty good, so I'll take it. Turns out the Ironhead TM is actually on this building over here. Also, I decided that I'd rather prioritize speed on Peter, so we go back to the store and purchase a Jolly Mint from the shop. We then make our way back to the snowy region of Paldea, and we go face to face with a gym leader Grusha. And, spoiler alert, this fight was a joke for Peter. Frostmoth, Iron-headed to death. Beartick, Iron-headed to death. Titan, Iron-headed to death. And then last, Altaria, Iron-headed to... Oh, this fluffy cloud survived, but it does flinch, so yeah, a second Ironhead can finish the job. Although we have now beaten every gym and could technically take on the Pokemon Elite Four, we're going to put that on hold as we have some unfinished business, starting with Ortega and the Fairy Team Star base. And well, this is a job for Peter. Starting with the Azumarill, we can use Ironhead, which makes a rabbit flinch before a second one can take it out. Dashbun can just barely survive an Ironhead, allowing the dog to crunch us, but it's fine as it shares the same fate as Azumarill. Wigglytuff is in, and it really ain't that tough, as one Ironhead can get the job done. Finally, it's the Starmobile, and this thing can't really hurt Peter, while Ironheads on the other hand deal massive damage. 2 more hits from our Spider is enough to break down the car and defeat Ortega. The endgame is ever so close, and our next task is to defeat the false dragon titan, Dondonzo. So we locate the giant fish, and I have Shelob drop a couple of thunderbolts on the Dondonzo, forcing it back into the water and retreating. We simply follow its tracks, and before long we can start round 2. Shelob is still in complete control, with thunderbolts doing massive damage, eventually sending it to its watery grave for good this time. Tatsugiri could have escaped with its life, but this silly sushi decided to throw hands instead. The strategy here is for Shelob to go for Struggle Bug over and over, dealing small damage but dropping its special attack stat. Once Shelob gets low, Argo can tag in, and a Leech Life from our Spider, followed up by a takedown from Greedent, can deal with the Tatsugiri, giving us the victory over the final Titan. And now, all that's left for us to do is to take in the final Team Star base and their leader, Eerie. So after crushing some of the Grunt's Pokemon, we reach the end and we watch as Eerie comes out on her car. Toxicroak is so desperate for sucker punches that he keeps trying and failing, as Peter can just set up with Hone Claws. After he's run out of sucker punch PP, we start our attack, earthquaking the frog out of existence. Lucario comes in now, but an earthquake could have killed this dog twice if needed. Annihilate does look mean, but a Psychic Fangs makes quick work of the monkey. Rika's second monkey comes in Passiman, but it's also taken care of with a Psychic Fangs. Last is a Reveroom, who comes out only to be one-shotted with a Psychic Fangs from our boy Peter. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's not dawdle, as the Pokemon League awaits us. Our first opponent is a ground-type specialist, Rika. Argog is perfect for this fight, starting off with a big Trial Blaze, almost one-shotting her Wishcash, who does survive and go for a future side attack. We then follow up with a second Trial Blaze, putting an end to her Catfish. Now it's Donphan, who we hit hard with a Liquidation, only surviving due to the Sturdy, before the Elephant responds with a big Stone Edge on our Spider. Then the future side attack comes through, and Argog is left on just 25 HP. Determined, we stay in and finish off the Donphan with a Trial Blaze, raising our speed yet again. This allows us to outspeed Dugtrio, and we liquidate it to its death. Cameruptor's next, but a Liquidation can deal with a Camel with ease. Last is a Clodsire, and I know it has Water Absorb, so Argo comes out and Peter comes in, who takes huge damage from an Earthquake as it enters the field. Wanting to lose the ground weakness, we terrestrialize Peter, and then we hit Clodsire with a big Ice Punch. A second Earthquake comes our way, but we survive the hit, and now we eliminate it with a second Ice Punch, giving us the win. We've now been given babysitting duties, as the toddler Poppy and her Steel types are next up. Peter leads, going for a Hone Claws, raising his attack and accuracy, while the Copperizer uses Stealth Rocks. Then without any mercy, Peter hits the Elephant with an Earthquake, taking it out of existence. Poppy brings in Bronzong, who can survive a Brick Break from Peter, then hit us back with an Earthquake of its own. We survive the hit pretty well, and a second Brick Break can take care of it. Now it's Magnezone, and it will survive the hit thanks to Sturdy, before setting up a light screen, which is fine, as I'm using physical moves. One more Brick Break from Peter can crush the giant magnet, ending its life. Corviknight is in next, and it takes an Ice Punch surprisingly well. Although an incoming Body Press doesn't hurt too much, and a couple more Icy Punches from Peter can eliminate the bird. Last is Erase Tinkertong, and this little fairy stood no chance, surviving an Earthquake from Metagross. We're at the halfway mark, and this time it's Larry that shows his face for a battle, so we take him on. Peter is in charge, and one Ice Punch is quite effective against his Flying Plant. Then Larry brings in Altaria, which is an odd choice, as this is also 4 times weak to an Ice Punch. Now it's Staraptor, who could have been an issue with Intimidate, but we have Clear Body, meaning we don't drop our attack, and an Ice Punch can take care of it. Oricorio is next, and just like the other birds before it, it goes down to an Ice Punch. Finally, it's his ace Flamingo, who does actually survive an Ice Punch, but we also survive the incoming close combat, meaning we just follow up with another, getting the win over Larry. Hassle is all that stands in the way between me and Gita, so we face off against the Dragon Trainer. Peter starts off again. Yes, I know I'm using him a lot. And we get hit with a Super Fang from the Noivern, while we go for a Hone Claws, raising our accuracy and attack. Another Super Fang comes our way, which is fine, as an Ice Punch can finish off the bat. Hatteras could have been a threat, but a +1 super effective Ice Punch can get the job done. Dragalge also stands no chance surviving an Ice Punch from Peter. Then it's Flapple, and this thing is 4 times weak to an Ice Punch, so yeah, it's dead. Baxcalibur is definitely scary, and I hit it with an Ice Punch, which does not get their KO. But Peter gets off a huge freeze on the dragon, which definitely saved his life. Talk about a clutch moment. One more Ice Punch from Peter sends the dragon straight back to Hassel, giving us the win over the last Elite Four member. And now that these 4 chumps have been beaten, we can head outside where the real challenge awaits. Champion Geeta. Shella makes his Pokemon League debut and shows that she means business with a big buzz on Esparta. King Gambit comes in now, so Peter tags in, taking a Stone Edge with ease. We then go for a quad effective Brick Break, and somehow this monster survives a hit, then responds with a Kotal Cleave, which thankfully Peter can just hold on to. That was close. You die now, buddy. Knowing that I can't one-shot an Avalugg, I bring in Shellab, who takes an Earthquake reasonably well before bug buzzing the Slab of Ice to its death. Gogota's next in for Geeta, and this thing just falls to a bug buzz. Veluza comes in, so I bring in Argog, who is tickled by a Liquidation, and then hit hard by a Psycho Cut before a Trial Blaze can land, making us faster. We go for another Trial Blaze on the fish, while a Psycho Cut brings us dangerously low. One more Trial Blaze from Argog can secure the kill, and now we're ready for Geeta's ace, Glamora. From here we just terrestrialize, going for an insane Liquidation, which is enough to end the life of Geeta's Flowery Rock. Hold up, don't leave just yet. We're just getting to the good part. We still gotta teach Professor Sada who's boss down at Area 0. First things first, we head to the lighthouse, which will trigger the cutscene of Professor Sada asking for our help. Then we go on a rampage, beating up Arvin and his Mabostiff, Director Clavel and his Meowscarada, then we take out Penny and her Sylveon, and then finally, it is Nemona and her Skeledirge. With them all beaten, we jump on my Caradon, who takes us all the way down to the surface of Area 0. Then after a bit of a stroll, we reach the Professor's lab, where she's waiting inside, only to find out that she's basically a robot now. Anyway, long story short, let's kick her butt. She starts things off with a Slitherwing, who can use a lunge at Argog, dropping our attack. Then we do the same, going for a lunge, dropping its attack back. We trade blows one more time, both having our attack dropped again, but on the third time, we get hit by a lunge, while Argog sets up a reflect. Now Shellab can come in, getting tickled by a lunge on the switch. We then go for a Sticky Web, which will slow down her future Pokemon, while another lunge comes our way. Peter's ready to enter the battle, getting Leech Lifed as he comes in. With Slitherwing not being able to deal much damage, we go for a Horn Claws, raising our attack and accuracy 3 separate times, making Peter basically unstoppable. One Psychic Frames later, and Slitherwings is no more. Bruponet drops in now, but it goes down to a single Ice Punch from Peter. Sandy Shocks is next, but this time our Trial Blades can land, taking it out and making us faster, just in time for Fluttermane, who would have been an issue, but now we outspeed, and a Psychic Fangs can deal with it. Screamtail is actually surprisingly tough, as it takes 2 Ice Punches to end its life. Last, but certainly not least, is a Roaring Moon, but too bad that Peter is stronger and faster, sending the dragon back to the past with a huge, super effective Ice Punch. And with that, we've beaten Pokemon Scarlet using nothing but spiders. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.